5 persons rescued under the rubble of collapsed Abuja hotel. Dangote warns of devastating effect of high interest rates amid sluggish economic growth. Nigerians alternate vegetable options amid a surge in the price of tomatoes. On the foreign scene, tear gas, stones and flames as Kenya protesters say Ruto must go. Many thanks for joining us on the news hour. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin the bulletin in Abuja as 5 people were rescued alive after a 4-story building collapsed in Area 11, Garki, Abuja. In this report, Noel Sampson speaks with some of the rescued victims about the incident and the experiences during the rescue operations. He also spoke with officials of the FCT Police Command and the FCT Emergency Management Department, whose concerted efforts led to the successful rescue of the survivors. His report.
Following the collapse of a 4-story building at 23 Nkwere Street off Ahmadu Bello Way, Area 11 Gariki, the FCT Emergency Management Department has ordered the complete demolition of the remaining structure. Speaking with the 5 rescued victims, they recounted their horrifying experience and the rescue efforts that saved their lives. They also debunked rumors that there were fatalities in the incident, confirming that no lives were lost in the building collapse.
Around 8 o'clock, we did level 4. So that time we dey cook with gas. We don't cook something for fire now. So now the thing question. So now this my brother go say what they happen for us. Now I tell us I don't know. Now you go look at in the low the thing in the form. Now my brother say more run this is the follow. Now my brother come jump for that level 4. You jump for that, you follow top. Now if you must follow
not falling, taller, not strong. So as you call nothing, you can share the thing, like say preparation, like say rain is coming. So as you can jump, you follow it, as you can see the thing is falling, you just following the one.
In interviews with the acting director of the FCT Emergency Management Department and the public relations officer of the FCT Police Command, both officials detailed the rescue operations following the collapse of a 4-story building at 23 Nkwere Street off Ahmadu Bello Way, Area 11 Gariki. The acting director emphasized the coordinated efforts that led to the successful rescue of 5 individuals. She also announced plans for integrity tests on all buildings in the vicinity to prevent future incidents. The public relations officer of the FCT Police Command echoed the importance of swift and efficient response in such emergencies, underscoring the ongoing commitment to public safety.
Whatever was the cause of the building collapse cannot be ascertained for now. We are going to carry out investigations, and we started the rescue operations immediately by removing all the rubble to make sure there was nobody in the building. So far, the site is going to be sealed for now. Private developers, individuals, we have always advised them to make sure they keep to building codes.
All the patrol teams and response units to the crime scene. And when we got there, we were able to rescue about 3 persons, and we took them to the hospital.
Building collapse have become a regular occurrence in Nigeria as regulators struggle to enforce construction standards. The recent collapse in the FCT underscores the dangers associated with substandard structures prevalent in many states across the country. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the urgent need for stricter enforcement of building regulations to enforce public safety. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
To Borno State now, where the Assistant Inspector General of Police for Zone 15, Abdul Umar, has revealed that the police and other security agencies have adopted new strategies to prevent improvised explosive device explosions in Borno State. AIG Umar emphasized that the security agencies will take a more proactive approach to avert future attacks while disclosing this information during his final retirement press briefing in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Reflecting on the series of operations during the peak of the insurgency, AIG Umar noted that the high number of surrendered terrorists, the reopening of communities and the resettlement of displaced persons indicate a return of peace and normalcy in most parts of the state.
We have deliberated on this issue and we came up with modalities which are strictly security based, but everything has to do with intelligence. We are going to work on our intelligence network and ensure that we remain proactive rather than reactive. So the matter has been deliberated just today, and we came up with a solution on how to approach it. So that is all I'm going to tell you about this, because it's just happening and we need to have an approach. So we have developed a modality.
In other security-related matters, at least one person has been killed and 10 others rescued after the police foiled a bandit attack in Duda local government area of Katsina State. The attack occurred on Tuesday at about 2 a.m. when bandits armed with weapons targeted a compound situated behind comprehensive quarters in Duda local government area. During the attack, the gunmen reportedly shot and injured one person and kidnapped about 14 occupants of the compound. The injured victim was rushed to the hospital for medical attention but was later pronounced dead. In a statement on Tuesday, the police spokesperson in the state, Abubakar Sadiq, noted that upon receipt of the report, the police in Duda promptly mobilized to the scene where they engaged with the kidnappers in a fierce gun battle. The statement adds that the Katsina State Police Commissioner has detailed a search and rescue team to comb the nearby bushes to rescue kidnapped victims and arrest the perpetrators of the dastardly act. All right, let's speak to the Police Public Relations Officer in Katsina State now for some more updates. Join us via phone is ASP Sadiq Aliyu. ASP, good evening. Thank you so much for making the time. I appreciate you for joining us on the News Hour. First, just to get some clarity, we also understand that a lecturer was also killed in a recent attack by bandits. Can you confirm if these two stories are related with regards to the attack in Duda?
Thank you very much. Good evening. Yes, definitely the stories are related. The said lecturer was killed as a result of the attack by bandits. What happened was that today at around 2 a.m. in the night, some suspected bandits attacked a compound in Duda local government area, particularly behind comprehensive quarters, with intent to kidnap the occupants of the compound. And they already kidnapped about 14 victims, shot and injured the said lecturer. So promptly upon receipt of the report, our detectives, our operatives led by the DPO Duda swiftly responded to the scene, where they engaged the suspected kidnappers and successfully rescued 10 of the kidnapped victims and rushed the injured victim to the hospital, where he was confirmed dead later by a medical doctor while receiving treatment.
Now, some of the reports we're getting also indicated that two of the lecturer's daughters were also kidnapped. Can you confirm if those that were rescued by the police also include the lecturer's daughters?
No, the lecturer's daughters are not part of the 10 rescued victims, but as we earlier mentioned, we are making a frantic effort to ensure the on-court rescue of the daughters and the remaining 2 kidnapped victims, making 4 with the kidnappers.
Right. ASP, just give us a picture of the security situation in areas like Duda, for instance. We all understand the security situation in Katsina State, especially in some of those volatile areas. Give us a sense of, how big the scale of the problem is.
The security situation in Katsina generally is relatively calm. We do record some isolated cases like this one and some other local governments, particularly referred to as the frontline local government areas, which are deeply, concerned by this security situation. And the command, in collaboration with the state government and other security agencies in the state, are doing everything possible to ensure the safety of all residents and citizens of the state.
Right. And as far as this rescue operation is concerned, I understand the police commissioner has given the go-ahead for your operatives to kick off that police rescue mission. Any update to report so far?
So far, there is no any update, but our detectives are actively pursuing all leads in regards to the incident, while the search and rescue team are also combing the bushes for possible rescue and arrest of the perpetrators of the dastardly act. Further development will be communicated in due course.
Right. ASP Sadiq Ali, thank you most kindly for joining us on the NISA and appreciate you for the update. All the very best rescuing this and many other victims of the insecurity in parts of Katsina. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Right. ASP Sadiq Ali there speaking on the recent development involving an attack in parts of Duda that led to the killing of a lecturer with the state university. Moving over to Kano State now, a state high court on Tuesday adjourned the hearing in the ongoing Kano Emirate tussle case until Thursday, July 4th. The Kano State Attorney General and the Commissioner of Justice, the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, and the Kano State House of Assembly through their counsel, Ibrahim Isa Wangida, filed a motion ex parte on May 27. The applicants are seeking an order restraining the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, and 4 other dethroned emirs in the state, emirs of Bichi, Ranu, Gaya, and Karai, from parading themselves as traditional rulers. Counsel to Ado Bayero, Abdul Muhammad SAN, opposed the 30-minute stand down and sought an adjournment to enable him reply and file all the necessary applications. Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu adjourned the matter until July 4th for the hearing of all pending applications and originating motions. Staying in Kano, factory workers took to the streets of the metropolis to protest the activities of a foreign tea company operating in the state. The workers alleged that the foreign company is working to undermine local businesses and other companies in Kano. Trust TV's Idris Jibrin reports that the workers are calling on the state government to intervene and save their businesses. His report.
These are workers of local tea-making company who came out in their numbers to protest against rival foreign company that they say has been working to kill their local tea business. The company based in Kano has been in business for almost 3 years, but has come under attack from a foreign company over a trademark dispute.
We are here to just present our grievances, our yearning and demand over a threat and intimidation and frustration we are facing.
According to the workers, they are on the street to seek for government intervention to save their businesses, which is about to die in the hands of their powerful competitors.
They are accusing us for a trademark, which we, the T and YZ, we have already have this trademark already captured and collected from the Ministry of Trade.
While receiving the workers, Chief of Staff to the Kano State Governor Wadasa Gagi assured the workers that the Kano State Government will verify their claim for appropriate action. The Chief of Staff also urged the youth to continue with their normal businesses in accordance with the law, as the government will not allow any foreign interests to sabotage the economic stability of the state.
What the government is after is for you to conduct your businesses and your affairs legally within the state, because Kano is so fortunate that it is one of the states that is relatively secured. And this security is not unconnected with the economic activities that is taking place within the state. And as such, government is not going to take it lightly. I'm very happy. I have seen the promoters of this company, very young and vibrant people. And I even wish other youth will copy their example.
According to the protesters, over 500 workers may lose their job if government and other relevant stakeholders do not intervene. Idris Jobrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, the president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has called on the federal government to enact a policy that would ensure support and protection for manufacturing industry in the country. Dangote made this call in his keynote speech at the opening of a 3-day Nigeria Manufacturers Summit with the theme Rethinking Manufacturing in Nigeria, which was held in Abuja on Tuesday. Dangote also advocated for a reduction in interest rates, stating that high rates stifle economic growth and development. He also maintains that Nigeria has all it takes to develop and sustain a globally competitive manufacturing sector.
No power, no growth, no prosperity. So unless you have a power, you will not have growth, you will not have prosperity. Similarly, no affordable financing, no growth, no prosperity. There is no industrialization without protection. So ignoring all these facts is what gives rise to insecurity, banditry, kidnapping, and abject poverty in the land.
Well, let's double down on that development in the comments of the president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote. They're talking about high interest rate and a protectionist policy for Nigeria's alien manufacturing industry. Joining us on the news is Yusho Aliyu, an economist based here in Abuja, to help add value to that conversation. Thank you most kindly for joining us on the news. First and foremost, your thoughts on what Dangote had to say about the government's policy direction, especially when it comes to manufacturing.
Dangote is a blessing to Nigerian economy because he has played a bigger role in organizing the system and not only giving that, advising the economic environment, the best way to handle it. So in my opinion, it's a welcome development that is coming from a president of a conglomerate.
Yeah, but if we double down on the details of some of those concerns, he did point out the need for protection. What kind of protectionist policies do you think he's suggesting there as far as the survival of some of these companies is concerned? Because according to the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, for the past couple of years, we've seen so many businesses either move out of the country in terms of multinationals, and we've also seen local businesses close shop because of the stifling economic condition in the country. So what is actually on the table as far as protection for the existence of some of these companies is concerned?
Protectionism is an economic principle that stabilizes and improves the efficiency of local production in any domestic economy. Protectionism involves, for instance, looking at what we import, looking at what input we are importing at a low tax rate, or in some cases with the even tax exemption. And protection also includes protecting the business funds by looking at monetary policy, especially, as he pointed out, increasing monetary policy rate, which for a very long period of time I have been advocating in different media organizations that, look, if we are to attract and protect our manufacturing sector and protect our jobs and have a common prosperity in our growth, the central bank must not look at conventional models of trying to put a lot of emphasis in protecting or encouraging people to come and invest rather than protecting the existing manufacturing in the economy.
Right, and let's talk about those rates. He said at 30%, it doesn't make any sense. Businesses cannot survive. He in fact did say that we're going to see so many job losses and we're going to continue to see so many companies moving out of the country because of the current economic climate. Let's talk about those interest rates, because we've seen a steady increase from 2% increase within the past 4 months, for instance, when the MPC met 3 times this past first quarter. What do you make of those concerns, and how the CBN, through its monetary policy rate, is trying to address one key issue which has got a lot of Nigerians talking, which is inflation, for instance? How do you square this circle? The concerns that CBN wants to try to rein in inflation, and you have perhaps the biggest voice in Nigeria's industrial complex speaking about high interest rates.
Let us not just confuse ourselves. The important things, a role that the central bank is to play, is to establish price stability. And in establishing price stability, you are protecting consumers. But what is obtainable, if you take year-on-year inflation, 22.22% in May last year, compared to 33.95%. The in between is about 15.4%, meaning that all consumers, their own capacity, their own purchasing power has been eroded. So if that is eroded, the multiplier implication of that is that they cannot be able to be buying goods that are produced because their income is no longer with them. That is the first implication. So if that is one angle, but for the manufacturers, if assuming a company A has a liability, maybe has borrowed a money from a commercial bank at an interest rate of 16% last year, and today the same existing loan he is to pay 26.75%, meaning that he is not going to, particularly if you look at the low purchasing power, and you also look at the cost of production. The company cannot be able to continue production, and that is why some they have to reduce workforce and additional burden. Right. The next one is to close the factory and go away.
Right, and finally, clearly Dangote is one of the obvious voices in terms of the Nigerian economy, and his position counts for quite a lot. He is serving on so many advisory councils that speaks directly to the president, for instance. Are you surprised that he's voicing out his concerns at such a public forum when he clearly can actually speak to the powers that be to make the necessary adjustments?
Dangote is a sincere monetarist. In 2016, he advised and warned federal government and warned the central bank never to allow exchange rate the way they are planning, the way they plan. He warned that it will reach 500 naira to $1, and that has come to fruition. Not only 500 naira. Today, what Dangote tried to propose to the bank, they refused to obey. Now, the economy is paying price for it. And the same thing applies to this interest rate. If some of us who are understanding and studying the economic environment, advising the central bank that it is high time, you cannot, in just 2 months, the first in February, 400 basis point, in March, 200 basis point. Where do you want the manufacturers to manufacture that money and to sustain their liability in the financial institution?
All right. Okay, we're going to have to leave it there for now. Thank you most kindly, Yusha Aliyu, for the expert analysis, and we appreciate you for stopping by on the News Hour.
Thank you very much.
Right. Now, as Nigeria enters the peak of its rainy season, the Senate has called on the federal government to provide palliatives and other relief items to support victims of flooding incidents across different parts of the country. Now, this was made in a motion moved by Senator Orji Kalu during the plenary on Tuesday. Sagir Ibrahim reports on this and many other developments in the Nigerian Senate.
This would have been the first plenary session for the lawmakers after the Salah break, save for an emergency plenary last Thursday, which saw the passage of a bill to extend the implementation of the 2023 budget until December. At the resumed plenary, Senator Orji Kalu of Abia North detailed the extent of damage caused by flooding in his senatorial zone, stressing the need for immediate government intervention Supporting the motion, other lawmakers also reported similar occurrences in their own districts and called on the federal government to urgently make provisions to cushion the effects of the floods on victims.
Concerned that the destruction caused by this flooding linked to climate change have left affected citizens of the district in pitiable situation. Worried that with the destruction of certain infrastructure affected, resident majority who are rural dwellers, artisans, and farmers are presently facing existence without basic necessity of life.
There is urgent need for intervention at quick impact level, intermediary and long term, because the roads were washed away, houses were broken, and most of them are rendered homeless. So I support the motion.
Erosion have taken over everything. This flooding of 2024 is a major issue because last year we had flooding in this country and we were advised that this year is going to be worse. But I thought maybe some remedial jobs ought to have been done in some of these areas. But as of today, nothing is done.
The Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, who presided over the day's plenary, highlighted ongoing efforts including some coastal road projects as part of government response. He emphasized the need for continued measures to prevent such incidents and urged affected communities to cooperate with the government to assess the extent of the damage and implement measures to rehabilitate affected infrastructure.
Call on the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation and National Emergency Management Agency to urgently make emergency provision available to cushion the effects on victims of the affected communities in Abia North Central District. Those in favor of this prayer, please say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it.
A minute silence was observed in honor of victims who died as a result of the incident. The Senate then mandated the Committee on Victims' Compliance and Environment to ensure adherence to the resolutions and report back within 4 weeks. Sagir Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Abuja.
To Lagos now, where the State Environmental Sanitation Corp has busted a styrofoam warehouse at Ojuoye Market in the Mushin area of Lagos State. According to a post by the Commissioner of Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, on Tuesday, the owner of the warehouse brought the banned styrofoam to the market in the early hours of Tuesday. Wahab says the products have been confiscated and taken to Kai office in Oshodi for incineration. He reiterated the state government's commitment to ensuring a healthy, cleaner and safer environment for all Lagosians. Elsewhere, the Kogi State government says the state has recorded 2 cases of cholera. The State Commissioner for Health, Abdulaziz Adam, who disclosed this in Lokoja, the state capital, says out of the 2 cases, 1 victim has been treated and discharged. Adam, who assured that the state government has taken steps to ensure that the disease outbreak is brought under control, urges members of the public to report any suspected case of cholera and maintain good hygiene. Similarly, the Niger State government says data available shows that there were no reported or confirmed cases of cholera outbreak in the state. The Director, Public Health Ministry of Niger Ministry for Secondary and Tertiary Health, Idris Ibrahim, says the state government is not relenting as well as in its efforts to address the issue, as well as take all precautionary measures to address any immediate concern in the future. Also in Nasarawa State, the State Commissioner for Health, Gaza Gwamna, says there were no confirmed cases of cholera outbreak in the state. Gwamna, however, said that 29 suspected cases of cholera were recorded in 2 out of the 13 local government areas in the state. In a move aimed at reducing unemployment and fostering economic growth, the Jigawa state government has signed a memorandum of understanding worth 6 billion naira with the Bank of Industry. The signing ceremony took place at the government house in Duda, the Jigawa state capital, with key government officials and representatives from the Bank of Industry. Here's the report.
Governor Umar Namadi, who presided over the event, expressed optimism about the potential impact of the partnership. He emphasized that the funds will be strategically deployed to support small and medium-sized enterprises, thereby stimulating job creation and enhancing economic landscape of the state.
It is a well-known fact that all over the world, small and medium-scale industries are the movers of the economy. And we felt in Jigawa State, we have a duty to ensure that we have support small and medium enterprises. Our collaboration with the BOI will provide enough funding, at least for the small and medium scale enterprises to move their businesses forward.
In addition to the MOU signing, the governor also inaugurated a new branch office of the Bank of Industry in Duda. The establishment of the branch of the bank is expected to facilitate easier access to financial services for local businesses. The Director of Corporate Services Bank of Industry highlighted the bank's dedication to supporting economic initiatives across Nigeria. He noted that the collaboration with Jigawa State is part of a broader strategy to empower local entrepreneurs and reduce poverty through the provision of accessible financial resources.
With the execution of this MOU today, Jigawa joins the list of over 40 value strategic partners with Bank of Industry in bringing development finance services to our people, especially in manufacturing activities, support value chains, and reduce dependency on neighboring states for finished goods.
The 6 billion naira fund is expected to be disbursed as loans to qualified entrepreneurs and businesses within Jigawa State. The initiative will focus on sectors with high growth potential, including agriculture, manufacturing, and services sectors.
As I said, we are part of the management. We cannot just go and be seated looking at the Bank of Industry charging anything higher than single-digit interest. When you talk about the single-digit interest, you are talking of 9% downward. And we can consider the contribution by the state government or the support for them to subsidize again and support Jigawa State people.
With the signing of this MOU and the opening of the new BOI branch, Jigawa State is poised to experience a wave of economic revitalization, positioning itself as a hub for entrepreneurial activity in northern Nigeria.
Now to Adamawa State, where Governor Ahmadu Umaru has expressed his support for local government autonomy while stressing the need for a holistic approach towards constitutional reforms. The governor also advocated the separation of powers between the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation and the federal government in the interest of transparency and accountability. From Yola, Gibson Swadigo reports.
Governor Ahmadu Fintri made his position known while declaring open the mandatory continuing professional development program of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria at the banquet hall, Government House, Yola. The mandatory continuing professional development program of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria tagged this year's event as sustainable accounting and economic, social, and governance reporting. Governor Fintri, while commenting on the developmental strides of his administration, says a lot has changed in the areas of infrastructure and human capital development, while acknowledging the gains made in fiscal transparency and management in the state.
I equally want to seize this opportunity here today to declare that I'm an apostle of true federalism. And for that, I want to say here loud and clear that I am supporting the local government autonomy. The same way, I'm also calling on the federal government to give the states its own financial autonomy.
Annan President Dr. James Akareye described the governor as a prudent financial manager who channels resources of the state towards the development of the state and its people. The mandatory continuing professional development program, according to the president, has become a necessary tool for dynamism in accounting to stay at par with global best practices.
If any of these members disappoint you, report to Annan, because we have a disciplinary machinery to discipline anybody who errs. And I trust, Annan accountant can never err in delivering quality service.
Annan national officials also paid a courtesy call on Governor Fintri to establish the purpose of choosing Adamawa for the 2024 annual event. Gibson So Adugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Now, the rising cost of living in Nigeria continues to take a toll on the lives and livelihood of millions of Nigerians due to surging inflation. Speaking to Trust TV News in Owerri, the Imo State capital, a cross-section of residents have called on the government to urgently provide succor to Nigerians to help mitigate the current economic hardship in the country. Trust TV's Ajibade Praise has more.
The prices of essential foodstuffs like bag of rice, beans, spaghetti, tomatoes and others continue on the upward trajectory. This unabated situation has created more hardship for residents of Owerri, Imo State. They share their thoughts on the current economic difficulties confronting the country.
Why rice is that time is 10,000 a bag of rice, but now rice is 80,000. That's what I'm selling. This guy now, I'm buying 80,000 and I'm selling 85,000. This is Imo State. So the thing is affecting everybody. Even me, I'm the one that I normally bought warehouse. I have a warehouse. Now, cannot afford even 20 bags.
We are pleading to federal government to please help us let all this thing normalize to the normal price. You understand? Because the thing is really affecting us.
Then you want to ask how much do a civil servant earn a month? Then these are some of the things we are asking or begging, pleading with the government to look into. They should look into this, consider that there are people out there who are finding it difficult to eat.
Some civil servants called for quick intervention from government to ameliorate the situation.
This stuff, everything for market cost. I beg one may then talk to our president, may help us about this market. Everything costs for market. People know they will food again. If you go to backyard now, you know they see anything like shit and everything. People know they will food, how you go feed shit. I beg make one help us talk to our president, may help us.
If the government should set up this committee that I'm talking about, then make sure, monitor that committee, making sure that they are doing their job, making sure that they monitor the price of food commodities in the market. If they do it, I think the price of food in the market will go down. Let's look at the price of tomatoes in the market. Right now, you can't even get tomatoes of 500 naira. You cannot. Here, you can't even get tomatoes of 500 naira.
The masses are hopeful that the President Tinubu's led administration will bring an end to the current economic hardship in the country. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
Many have continued to battle with soaring prices of tomatoes across the country. The situation has been linked to a supply chain issue as well as shortage caused by pest infections during harvest. In a bid to adjust to the current economic reality, many households across the country are now resorting to other alternatives, as Noel Sampson reports.
According to some FCT residents, their first choice for some meals and stews is tomato. But with the rising cost of tomatoes, they have resorted to other alternatives like garden eggs, carrots, cucumbers, and palm oil.
Okay, we have so many alternatives to use since where tomato is cost. At least we have this per kernel Then we use it to do banga soup. And again, we used vegetable to use it against to some people. They use egusi to eat rice.
Just use the tomato paste, pepper, and onion. Even if onion is very expensive now, the pepper too is expensive, but it's not as expensive as buying the fresh tomato.
So I'll buy small tomato and mix it with carrot. I'll blend carrots with blender and mix it with small tomato. The taste is not that sweet, but we have to manage it now. We don't have any option. It's not that it's fine, but since there is no any of that option.
While a caterer told us the perfect alternatives that can be used instead of tomatoes, a nutritionist, on the other hand, said some of the alternatives have the same or almost the same nutritional value as tomatoes.
A situation will warrant people to think deep, to think out of the box. So people have thought of other alternatives, and people have tried using carrots to alternate tomato, and it has given a very good result. And looking at it, how healthy is carrots? Carrots is very healthy. Okay, of late, a lot of people are thinking of how to go natural in everything we're eating. So carrot is another natural product as good as tomato. So carrot is a very good alternative. And people have gone to another level to use cucumber to make their stew, and it came out perfectly well. So, of course, there's watermelon stew now, and then everybody is talking of how delicious it has become. So there are a lot of things, and people have even resorted to using little pepper and adding your vegetable, your ugu, your spinach and everything, and you create wonderful stew that is very healthy for your family.
Apart from the redness of the tomato, which attracts children and even adults, alternatives include already we have what we call ofaku. Many people eat it. This ofaku is made from palm nut, palm fruit. It doesn't need tomatoes, and they are also nutritive like tomatoes.
Right.
For example, garden egg is rich in dietary fiber. It has iron, it has potassium, it has vitamin C, and some B vitamins, just like tomatoes has some of them. So they are not. They can replace, and they are not nutrition-wise lower in quality.
Tomato offers several research-backed benefits, including protection for brain, heart, and gut health. The fruit, which some consider a vegetable, is also a source of nutrients like vitamin C and potassium. With the rainy season here, Nigerians are hopeful that the price will drop in the weeks ahead. Well, Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Right, you're still watching the news hour on Trust TV. Let's now join Yusuf Akogu for today's business update.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogu. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) in its latest report say the average retail price paid by consumers for petrol in the month of May 2024 increased to about 937 naira and 50 kobo per litre in the northern part of the country. The report, Premium Motor Spirit Petrol Price Watch May 2024, said on a state profile analysis, consumers in Jigawa State paid the highest price of 937 naira and 50 kobo per litre, indicating a continuous rise in the price of the commodity since the removal of fuel subsidy. Lagos, Niger, and Kwara State had the lowest average retail prices at 636 naira and 80 kobo, 642 naira and 16 kobo, and 645 naira and 15 kobo respectively. The report further said the average price paid for petrol was 769 naira and 62 kobo, representing a 223.21% increase compared to the 238 naira and 11 kobo recorded in May 2023. Comparing the average price value with the previous month of April, the retail price increased by 9.7%. On the zonal profile, the Northwest Zone recorded the highest average retail price of 845 naira and 26 kobo, while the North Central Zone had the lowest price of 695 naira and 4 kobo. More than 1 million applicants have made a cumulative 1.3 trillion naira loan request to Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation. A report by Credit Corp Survey said in 1 week, over 1 million Nigerians submitted expression of interest to Credit Corp for consumer credit. The report, which covers 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory and about 723 local government areas out of the 774, indicated that Nigerians are hungry for credit facility. no fewer than 2 million Nigerians are expected to benefit from the scheme by the end of next year. The scheme, a key campaign promise of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is programmed to enable Nigerians have access to soft loans to acquire properties that will make life easy for them without paying a lump sum. NGX closed Tuesday trading in green due to marginal price appreciation in medium-capped equities. Let's see how it went down today, Tuesday. Of course, Cornerstone, an insurance company, leading the gainers there. It gained 10% to close at 2 naira and 9 kobo per share. Jais Bank coming second there, 9.95% it gained to close at 2 naira and 21 kobo per share. Of course, another insurance company will pick up there, 9.59% to close at 80 kobo per share. Of course, this has moved up the market up marginally by 0.05%. If you look at the volume of trade there, 365.642 million shares traded, valued at 4.116 billion naira. In a list of 8,665 did exchanges among investors this Tuesday. Of course, the top trading equities in terms of volume, Universal Insurance Company dominating that table there, leading by 61.525 million shares. ICO, another insurance company, 31.722 million shares. Of course, UBA, United Bank for Africa, 25.854 million volume of its shares were traded. Some equities ended on the losing side of the market. Leading that table is RT Briscoe, down 9.86% to close at 64 kobo per share. Of course, Curtis down as well, 6.82% to close at 4 naira and 10 kobo per share. Of course, Mutual Benefit, another insurance company as well, also down there, 6.15% to close at 61 kobo per share. That's the highlight of stock trading as it went down this Tuesday on the floor of NGS. Let's see the global stock market and exchange rate data for today. Oil prices hold gains amid geopolitical uncertainty and demand optimism. At the London market, Brent crude sells for $87 per barrel. For the per basket, price that is at $86 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akugu.
Okay, let's take a look at developments on the international scene, and we take off in Kenya, where riot police fired tear gas at protesters in Nairobi, the capital, on Tuesday, amidst demonstrations as they erupt in other cities across the country, demanding the resignation of President William Ruto following a week of deadly clashes in anti-tax protest. Clouds of tear gas wafted over downtown Nairobi after protesters set fires on Waiyaki Way, the main road running through the center of the capital, and threw stones at the police in the central business district. Now, outside the capital, hundreds of protesters marched in an ebullient mood through Mombasa, Kenya's second largest city on the Indian Ocean coast. Ruto, facing the most serious crisis of his nearly 2-year-old presidency, has been caught between the demands of lenders such as the International Monetary Fund to cut deficits and the hard-pressed population reeling from the soaring cost of living. Members of the protest movement in Kenya, which has no official leaders and largely organizes via social media, have rejected Ruto's appeals for dialogue even after the president abandoned the proposed tax rises that triggered the demonstrations across the country.
We're firing him.
So for my children, I'm here and we're ready to spill our blood. Ruto should look at our flag and realize there's a reason we have a red band. That red band is for the blood of Kenyans. And if he's willing to spill our blood, we're willing to stand up to him. He's a big bully.
Disturbing scenes from Kenya yet again. Now, let's bring you up to date with the latest in sports with Adeni Ajishafe.
The season 8 of the Battle of Ages boxing tournament held at the Gymnasium Hall of the National Institute for Sport National Stadium, Lagos, has come to an end with lots of boxing bouts showcased. In the first fight of the night, Taye Fajimi recorded a unanimous decision against Segun Gbobaniyi in the National Super Lightweight contest as Emmanuel Abimbola defeated Semi Olakpade by third-round technical knockout in the National Lightweight fight, just as the National Super Lightweight Challenge contest between William Amosu and Samuel Opawu ends in draw. Knockout specialist Franklin Arinze stopped Godwin Ambrose in the fourth round in the cruiserweight. Afolabi Shitu beat Ibrahim Adewale in the second round of their National Super Lightweight bout. In the National Super Lightweight Challenge contest, Tohid Hassan and Akonji Moru locked horns, which Olanrewaju Drodola aka Fighting Policeman outsmart challenger Idris Afini in 8th-round technical knockout in cruiserweight fight. Rahim Animasha won by unanimous decision against Ojuara Bambi as National Super Featherweight contest between Aziz Latif and Zikiru Shukbeson ends in draw. Chairman, the last boxing promotion Wasiu Alabi said despite the absence of corporate or government support, he will continue to promote boxing, declaring his love for the growth of boxing in Nigeria.
I'm so glad, I'm so happy. Look at the just concluded All Africa game. We have dominated Africa. That is my aim and target. And by God's grace, we will make to stay on top in Africa. And by God's grace, we are going to rule the world.
President, Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, Rafiu Ladipo, noted that the board will remain grateful to the last for the glamour it has added to boxing promotion in Nigeria.
We try to encourage the promoter as well as the boxers. I want to say that the last promotions is doing so very well. This is the 7th edition of the show, and we've always been seeing good boxing.
General Secretary of MEBOFC and President of West African Boxing Union, Remi Aboderi, expressed happiness that all the bouts on the card lived up to expectations.
There's no way that we can say we want to challenge or support somebody, even when Usyk fought against Tyson Fury. The whole world saw it. Tyson is claiming he's the winner. The judges gave it to Usyk. So we are all human. But taking away the human error factor there, I'm assuring Nigerians and West Africans that our officials will be above board.
The main bout of the night in the West African Boxing Union light heavyweight category saw Lake Homoebi dethroning defending champion Segun Larewaju by unanimous decision to rule the division. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
And that is our offering for you on the News Hour tonight. Do well to follow us across our social media platforms to stay in touch. Also visit our website trusttv.com for the latest news and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. For myself and the rest of the team, thank you for watching the News Hour and good night.